If you do this too much as an artist, try this instead. Hello and welcome to Full Galloway Draws. Now today we're doing something a little bit different. We're going out and about in the wilds, and there's a very good reason why. A few months ago I was burned out. I was tired. It's what every artist fears, what every creative person fears. I was knackered. I'd been working on about 3 different jobs overlapping, late nights, working with overseas clients, so I was working on their timelines through the night, and they were very similar jobs where it was monotonous, painting faces all the time. And I'd lost it. I was tired. And I was at the point, I'd been thankfully so busy, which I will never complain about, but I was so busy that I was falling out of love with what I was doing. And no artist wants that. I needed a break. I was losing motivation, and the idea of a family trip up to Scotland sounded perfect. But I didn't just use it as a holiday. I brought my sketchbooks and my tools and got some work done while I was away. Now that sounds a little bit counterintuitive. Why would I work while I was on holiday? But honestly, it works. It rejuvenated me. It got me back in the flow. It got me painting looser, working on things that I wanted to do just for me, not for anyone else. And I came back with a new lease of life and really keen to kick on with projects, my own work, and looking forward to the next client project that came in. Now look, being a full-time artist has always been a dream of mine. It's a privilege to get paid to draw. What a job. I've wanted to do it since I was a young boy, and I love every minute. It's taken me to some amazing places. I've met some amazing people. I've had some unbelievable opportunities, and I wouldn't change it. I couldn't go back and work in an office. It also comes with so many added bonuses like flexibility, being able to drop off and pick up my kids from school, being able to do the housework around my work at home and keeping everyone happy. Winner. But, and don't think of me as moaning, I know there's 1,000,001 jobs out there that are harder, tougher, longer hours, more important and stressful than being an artist. But it is still a job at the end of the day. And it comes with its own stresses. These can be demanding schedules, working through the night, missing out on family time, working with clients overseas, so you're dealing with their time frames, chasing payments, invoicing, not being on hand to be a good dad. It all starts to weigh heavy on you. But then also there's the fear of the work stopping altogether. And that's not a good one either. But I do love being busy and often work best when I'm really stressed and loads on and the deadlines are short and the pressure's high. But like any job, these issues can lead to problems like burnout, isolation, loneliness, poor mental health and well-being, and crucially as an artist, falling out of love with what you've strived so hard to learn, practice, hone and craft. They can start to nag away at you and you lose motivation in the creative process. And in turn, that makes your art worse, less free, less loose, less from the heart. And it's like trying to sing through gritted teeth. It's not going to work. So what can be done to try and combat this? Bills still need to be paid. Housework still needs to be done. I've got my ironing over there ready to go later on. And life does go on. So what can we do? What little thing can we change to help relieve some of the pressure from this? Well, the best piece of advice I can give, and this isn't meant as a slur, I know it's become a bit of an internet meme, but get outside and touch grass. Go outside and have a break. Get some fresh air, change your scene. It might be going to a local park, going to a local cafe, just going for a walk. Change your scene, mix it up, get some fresh air, be with nature. But, and here's the important thing, try and bring your sketchbook, your Surface, your laptop, your iPad, whatever it might be that you work on, and try and sketch whilst you're on your break, but just for you. What do you want to draw? Put yourself out of your comfort zone. Try something new. You'll find you'll get better at it. You'll feel freer. You'll be looser. You'll be less intimidated. If you paint portraits all the time like me, go out and draw some trees. Whatever it might be, and hopefully it can start balancing out your work-art divide. Even if you're not a full-time artist, this can massively help with your development, losing the fear of trying new things and also just gaining new skills, because it's good to have it in your locker. The number of times a client has asked me to do a portrait of someone with a landscape behind you, and I don't usually do them. So doing things like this would be good. So go on, get out there. Go and change your scene. Go and touch some grass or stone or beach or sand or wherever it is you go, and reconnect with your art and just look after yourself. Go on, get gone. Here we go. Let's go!
Scotland.
Welcome to Scotland! Freedom! Really cool. Good. Let's blow that. That's a bit better. Good morning. How are we? It is very nice to be up and about. As you can see, I am not in my studio. Nope. We have hit the road. I'm not being too loud here because I don't want to wake up the animals and possibly even my kids back at the house. So excuse that, but we are on the road. I am up in the wilds of Dumfries and Galloway, which seems very apt with my surname, and we are staying at a little cottage called Oroland, in this little area called Oroland, which is fantastic. And as you can see, it's all been landscaped, and there's these weird follies and hills and lots of wonderful things to sketch and draw. And then we're going to take a little walk down to the sea as well, where there's a beach hut and some fantastic rock faces and formations and crags and lots of things to doodle and sketch. But basically, this is a family holiday, a little trip away, a little break for everyone. But it's always good to bring your sketchbook or your laptop or whatever and just keep doodling, or at least take some photos that you can work on at a later date, because you know, it puts us out of our comfort zone sometimes. I'm not the best at drawing out in plein air, but it's good to practice. It's good to keep trying these things. And I like to work mainly from photos and references and take my time, but I'm going to sketch while I'm out and about and see what I can get. So, look, here's that mound there. Look at this thing. Isn't it cool? You see me? I hope so. Look at these guys over here. Some nice things to sketch, some statues. Hello there. So, plenty to do, plenty to sketch. Let's get to work. Look, I know I said I was a bit bored of painting faces and needed a break, but this young girl's serene face on this statue just captivated me, and it was the first place I kind of got to on my little journey, and I wanted to sketch her and just throw some paint down just to loosen up just as I was leaving the house. It reminded me of maybe some of the John Singer Sargent kind of studies and sketches that he did of statues. So I couldn't get away from it. I still like painting faces even though I was trying to take a break. Just to note, this was painted using Outrage Vitae on my Surface Laptop Studio. First time I've actually taken it on the road, and it's a fantastic machine to work on. A little bit heavy on the lap, but I really was happy with the result that I got on this first little doodle. I'm not going to lie, this is not ideal drawing weather. It's a bit cold. Yesterday when we went out with the family down to the beach, it was glorious, lovely morning, and I got some good snaps to work from yesterday, but obviously it's a family holiday. I didn't want to spend it working all the time, as fun as it is, and we've got a 3-year-old on slippy rocks, so I can't just leave them unattended. So, had to leave it till getting up early this morning and sneak out of bed while everyone is still snoozing and in their PJs. My eyes are watering now. Oh, how glamorous. But anyway, we're heading down here and we're going past the main lodge. So Oroland seemingly it's a massive estate, and we're staying in what's called Cutler's Lodge, which is a very pretty little house, and there's different houses that you can rent on Airbnb, and it's an ideal spot for a family, but it's also an ideal spot for kind of creative people because the landscape around here is beautiful. It's only a couple of hours away from where I live down in England. Like I said, it's my namesake, Galloway, Dumfries and Galloway, the area, but we've also got family up here, so it's been an ideal little spot because thankfully I've been exceptionally busy with work over this last couple of weeks, not just with YouTube stuff but with client work and personal projects. So, after all the kind of worry of AI this and AI that and losing roles, and it has been quieter this last couple of years, there's no two ways about it. It is nice to finally be a little bit more back on track, and this break is a welcome one, really. But basically, wherever you are in the world, if you get the chance to get out of the studio or get out of your office or get away from your desk, oh, there's a pheasant. Can you see him? Do you see the pheasant? I don't know whether you did. I don't know whether you will have been able to see him. But if you get the chance to step away from from your desk, really, and get out into nature, go and touch some grass, and test your skills outdoors, because I don't do it enough. I stay at home in a very kind of safe environment where I can draw from photos and get the effects I want, and sometimes it's good to put yourself out there and put yourself amongst little brooks and rivers and trees and go and test. Like I said, I usually draw portraits. I don't usually do landscapes that much, but I've been enjoying sketching when I've been out and taking some photos that I know I'm going to work from. So get out there, have some fun, enjoy yourself. It's very pretty. But it is misty, and we're probably going to see not much at the beach, but I'm going to go for it. Trying not to speak too loud so I don't disturb the nature, because usually when I've been down here this week, we've had the 3 kids rampaging, and every single bit of wildlife within 20 miles has ran and scarpered, probably for the borders back down to England, away from us. I'm hoping to see some good stuff while I'm down here on my own. We're going to head down to the sea now, down to the Firth of Forth, I think it is, on the Solway. I need to get my geography sorted. But we're going to head down to the beach now, and it's a rocky, craggy, gnarly, kind of Jurassic Parky kind of vibe without the sun and hopefully without the dinosaurs, although that would be pretty cool. Yeah, I'm going down this track here now, so I've got to watch my footing. Your work gets looser, it gets freer when you're out, quite often doing landscapes, because you've got a limited time maybe, and you don't want to be getting all your tools out and oils and things like that, so you might want to just sketch in loosely or block in shape. So it's certainly worth doing as a practice, and also, isn't it nice to get out? Right, I'm going to stop talking now because I'm going down this cobble street. Look,
Going to cross a little stream here. Very nice. Let's cross over and we'll head we've made it. And I hope you can hear me. The wind is quite strong down here and I don't have a microphone yet. I'm getting one. A little wireless microphone. My God, look at this. Proper Goonies Never Say Die territory. Look at this coastline. It is rugged, but my goodness me, is it hard to walk along and try and film. So I think I'm going to stop that. There is a little beach hut up there, which we have access to, but I don't have the key. I couldn't find it in our house. There is a seating area, but I want to be at nature. I want with nature, so I'm going to plonk down on a rock over there and get some sketches done. So I'm going to switch off now, because otherwise you're going to see me fall over on the rocks, and I'm quite a way away from everyone else, and so I wouldn't be discovered until much later. So be safe. Let's go.
So this little sketch and drawing and painting was done using Rebel 7 Pro, again on the Surface Laptop Studio, and I'm still getting to grips with Rebel 7. It's really incredible. The interface is really good, it's intuitive, but although it's intuitive, it has got quite a steep learning curve when you come to it new, but I would heartily recommend checking it out. So I use this as an opportunity. I'd only recently got Rebel 7 at this time, and I used it as an opportunity just to test out some of the brushes on this thing. So I wasn't really concerned about the final result, more about what the brushes did, what they looked like, and how they handle on the paper, and you can make them run and dribble, and it's very exciting to see. So I'll definitely be using it more and learning more, as it's a nice addition to the toolbox, as along with your Art Rage Vitae, your Procreate, and your things like that, Adobe Fresco. So I'd definitely check it out. Now for this sketch, I sketched this kind of driftwood. I really like the reflection kind of mirroring the stones next to it, and I thought the sky angle kind of harked the rocks, and I really like the composition. But I sketched this one out, and truth be told, I actually painted it back at the cottage with a cup of tea by the fire, because by this stage my fingers were numb. It was a bit too chilly out there to do something as detailed as this. So full disclaimer, I painted this one at home. Hope you don't mind. Now for this landscape and the landscape coming up in a little while after the beach studies, I wanted to be kind of a bit more loose, a bit more free, a bit more like maybe the Scottish colourists from this area and the borders, who kind of threw on colour and made bright, kind of inviting, almost impressionistic, kind of French impressionistic paintings. And although the light, I actually brightened up the footage a little bit because it was quite dark on my little action camera that I brought with me and filmed all this on. The sun was starting to come up, but it was little bits of colour were being caught on the rocks and the yellows of the kind of lichen and the moss, and there was these interesting pinkish stones next to the kind of icy blue stones. So I wanted to kind of exaggerate those, if you will, the colours, and make it almost become just an abstract piece in itself. And it was so nice to just not have to worry about loads of detail like I have to usually for my client work, and just to look at things a little bit different, all the while experimenting with Rebelle 7 Pro and seeing what each brush does and what each texture does. And although it's a bit of a hodgepodge and a little bit of a mess, I was really happy with it at the end. Doing these little thumbnails and sketches really reminded me of my work when I was about 15, 16 for my GCSEs over here, and when I was a kid at school. And I had to do a lot of these kind of studies of little tight, intricate studies or close-ups or whatever it might be of certain subjects. And it really reminded me of the work I was doing back then. And it was quite nice to kind of go back and do something like this, which, you know, pick up on little details of things that might be missed. And I don't usually draw things like this. If I am doing scenes, it's usually bigger scenes behind the kind of focal point of the character. So to be able to kind of study these little rocks and the lichen on there and the kind of mossy, whatever it is on there, the little shells and stuff, and the seaweed that comes up in a minute. I just found it on the floor, and it was really interesting with all these kind of limpets all over it, and it just kind of really captivated me and captured the kind of harsh, rugged landscape of out there. And it was so nice to just be let off the leash a little bit and paint something a little bit different and just observe something a bit smaller. Now by this stage my fingers had turned to blocks of ice and my knee was shivering as I was sat drawing, and it was becoming a little bit impossible. And I think this one works okay. It was really just, again, working out using different brushes and different textures on Rebelle. But by this stage I think I was going a little bit crazy out on my own in the cold and wanted to really brighten up the scene and make it really zingy. So like I said before, picking up those colours of the rocks, I kind of took it to the nth degree on this one and really threw some splashes of red and kind of, maybe I was thinking of warmer times and looking forward to getting back and by the warmth of the fire and getting a nice bit of breakfast, which was awaiting me when I returned. And but even that, with that, it kind of went into a little bit cartoony, but I think there was enough there and from the image that I would definitely take this thumbnail back home and do something bigger with it if I so wished. I think there was enough in it to kind of build upon and maybe refine the colours and refine the palette. But again, it was fun to do, and I think it looks kind of poppy and zingy, so it was fun.
Right, you might not be able to hear me because the wind is picking up, but the sun is starting to rise. The family will be wondering where I am, so I think it's time to head home. We've got some good photos, got some really nice little loose sketches to work from, so now I'm going to navigate this and hopefully not stack it. Luckily I've got my big boots on. Sorry, that was a bit of a up the nose shot there, which no one needs to see. Get a bit of off-roading on this video, you lucky people. It sure makes you feel your age on these rocks. Anyway, let's get home and get warm and go and get a brew. See you back there. All in all, lovely. Can't feel my fingers now, so it's always a good sign. Let's get back, go and have a cup of tea, see if any of this footage worked. But I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm gonna post what I've actually drawn and what paintings I've done from the holiday and make it into like a little bit of a kind of diary of the holiday so much, you know, maybe kind of a collage of all the things that I've seen and done down on the beach and up on the grasslands, and maybe compile it together. I'll see what comes together. Basically, it's good for your fitness, it's good to get out and about, it's a nice wee break, and I think you should do it too. Try it, wherever it is, local park, down the shops, on the train, just get your sketchbook out, get drawing out on the road. My fingers are very cold. But let's get home, and going back to England tomorrow. I'll be sad to leave this place because I do love it up here, but happy to get back to work and doing what I love. So, I'll see you soon when I get back. Bye bye.